Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lungleng show. We have been talking about entrepreneurship, and this is a series of episodes on entrepreneurship. And we thought that there are no exemplary entrepreneurs in a state like Nagaland, but when you actually start researching people who are successful, there are plenty. And today I'm presenting one special and successful entrepreneur from Dimapur, and she's Toinali Chophy, and she's the proprietor of Beauty Barn, which is an e-commerce platform where they sell Korean beauty and skincare products. And what they do normally is they would import products directly from Korean companies out there in South Korea, and they would bring here in India and they would distribute to their loyal customers. So I'm really excited to learn more about her business and maybe also to learn about the strategies that she applies to her business. I think and all of us can learn and walk away with some of the learnings and behind her success and be successful in our own venture as well, whatever you do in your life. So thank you so much, Toinali, for giving me this time. I know you are busy, you have always meetings back to back, but thank you for making out this time.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, wonderful. So this Beauty Barn is all about Korean beauty care products. Like in the beginning, what was the first thing that came to your mind that this is going to be a great business?
I think there was first of all, the products are very effective. So since I always had problematic skin and I was always trying to find the perfect solution to get better skin, and I was kind of disappointed with the products in the market. And then when I started using Korean products, it really made a difference to my skin. And so friends and family, they started asking me. And then slowly, I started I started with just a few pieces of products, and there was a lot of demand for the products. So I felt like, okay, the products are effective. So there's definitely a demand, and this is something that I should definitely do. Yeah.
So when did you buy that first Korean products for yourself?
Yeah, so I think that was back in 2016. I had my second child, my son, and then my skin got worse. I started getting, I think I had every skin problem, from pigmentation to acne to everything. So I was really frustrated, and yeah, I think that was the first time I got my hands on K-beauty products.
Wow. So do you still have the pictures of those days where your skin was not good and all?
Yes, I think I have not much, but maybe one or two I do have.
Maybe if you don't mind, we can show and how she was and how she has transformed with the products.
Sure.
I mean, that's an amazing story. Yeah. Anything that enhances your look, enhances your life, that itself is beautiful, right?
Yes, but I've always been very authentic and honest about my skin journey on social media. So I think I do share about my skin problems. Okay. And of course, being a mother, one of the most common issue with mothers, especially women's, is melasma and pigmentation, which I also struggle. So that's something that a lot of women resonate with.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you are now mother of
three. Yeah.
Oh, that's, how many
so my daughter is 11. Yeah. I have two sons, 8 and 5, 6-year-old.
Mm-hmm. A mother of three who is able to maintain up to this level. So what do you credit that to? Is it the product or is it your lifestyle or,
I think overall I'm a very disciplined person. Yeah, and also I think, so I think I have a very supportive husband. So that way is...
Okay, so before you started this business, what were you into? What were you busy about for?
Okay, so I got married right after my master's. And,
which was in which year?
2011.
Oh,
so
okay.
Right after I finished my master's, I got married. So I didn't have any work experience, nothing. And then 1-2 years into the marriage, I also had a government job. I was that was a side government. So yeah. But then I really didn't want to do it. It was not my cup of tea. I never was into teaching, so I always wanted to do something something I enjoyed. So initial years, I tried a lot of things. I also had one of my first ventures was an online accessory store. Okay. So then I also tried my hands at baking, then also wedding decoration. So a lot of things before I got into this, and I felt like this is where my heart is, and that's when I decided to fully take a plunge into it.
Wow, that's, you have really learned what works best for you. And what makes me more interested is now you were a government job, holder.
Yeah, so I already resigned. Yeah, I already gave up the job. Actually, I did, a lot of my family, they told me, you should keep it because I think that's what a lot of people do, right?
True,
like
true.
you should have the job and keep it as a security. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I didn't want. I mean, I felt that was not right. And since my business was doing
Absolutely.
well, I just I resigned from the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could imagine like people must be thinking it's just crazy,
Yeah.
where actually everyone is running after that kind of job. So how confident were you at one point of time? You realized that it's time to give up this and rather give my full time to this business. What at what point of time?
I think over the years I've invested a lot on my skills, so I feel like I'm quite confident with like even if like something happens to this business, I can always start something because I have developed a lot of skills over the years. So I think that ways I was confident.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And when I see your social media pages, your website, it's all like very slick and it's up to date and it's quite interactive. Who taught you all these skills? I mean, it's learned by yourself, or you have special people who took you like through that process of you should manage like this?
Okay, no, everything was from scratch. So initial years when we launched our website in 2017. So during that time I was doing everything alone, like handling customer care, handling social media. So I learned all those things, and of course I also had I also had that I always had this sense of like I always had to learn and be updated.
Right.
So I always made sure that I was keeping up with the trends in the market and also learning what are the new technologies coming up. So all those things helped me, and like most of my team here, of course, they are all very like educated and good background, but no one from the marketing, background. Since in Nagaland, I mean, marketing is something still very new.
I know.
So I think I was the one who mentored, but of course my team also they were very good in learning. They were like they had this very growth mindset. They were always open to learning. So I think that's how we grew.
Okay. So, and currently, I mean, before I stepped into your office, you were showing me around like different departments of like the packaging and customer care and marketing. You have all of these teams separately.
Yes.
Like currently, how many staffs do you have?
So I think in-house we have about 30 and outsourced we have about 10 people.
10 people. So around 40
Yes.
employees you
Yeah.
have. So you're able to employ that much. That
Yeah.
means your business is like really, really going well.
I mean, it's challenging, but yeah, so far so good.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. And I'm sure I'm sure you're enjoying the process of what you're doing. And, it's not that you're pressured to do this. I mean, when you wake up, you feel like rushing to your office and, start working for the day. How is that the case?
I mean, I enjoy learning. So I think, there are so many challenges in the business because I think, there are so many, it's a cutthroat competitive world.
Okay.
And it's not like we are the only ones selling beauty products. There are so many other platforms selling the same products, and it's quite challenging and it can be really frustrating at times. But I think I enjoy the whole process of learning. For me, I think learning is something which I really love and enjoy. I'm not all about like I should earn this much, but I enjoy the growth. So I think that's what helps me, that what's driving the business.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Now you are mentioning about competitors. Do you have like strong competitors?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
So when I started out, they all like the saying, early bird catches the
Exactly.
worm. So initially when I started out, like there were not much competitors in the market, and in the Northeast we had a couple of players. But post COVID, after Corona, when the market opened up, I think there was a huge rise in e-commerce platforms, right?
Okay,
And also there were so many other big players, especially from the mainland, like the venture capitalists and everyone, and bigger platforms, they started selling K-beauty. So initially I was like, oh my God, I don't think I'm ever going to, be able to compete in this, with such big, players in the market.
Right.
So for a month I was really frustrated, but then I decided okay, I'm just going to focus on myself and how I can deliver better than them, better services, better products. And yeah, that's how I think we were able to stand out. So I stopped looking outside of myself, but I started to look inside myself and what I can control. So yeah.
That's beautiful. And will I be right to say that your strongest marketing strategy is you yourself? Because you have a story of how Korean these beauty products, skincare products have been enhancing your life, especially your skin and you yourselves, and you have huge social media presence. Although there must be venture capital companies that come up selling all this product, I mean they may not have that kind of story. So is your life story helping you to thrive in this business? Or
So for us, I think what helps us stand out, it's we are a very personalized brand. We are not like, just like we are not here to sell, but we are here to like
Help you.
help people. We like for with our social media content, we are always educating. We have our own skincare consultation things where we help our customers pick the right products for their skin type. So we do everything with care, and we want our customers to have good results. So I think like having that passion, I think it really drives the business.
Okay. Do you have a little bit knowledge about dermatology as well, or you are learning about it?
I mean, like in terms of skincare, like
Yeah.
the ingredients, what works, what doesn't work, all those things. So over the years, I've learned a lot. Yeah.
And can this beauty products and all can have a side effect also? I mean, as per your experience, and what do you say on that?
Like, I mean, see, especially with the brands that I work with, they are very clean brands. So we are also very conscious about the brands that we curate into our platform.
Exactly.
So we make sure that they don't use products that are, that have side effects, that are cancerous. So all those things, I mean, we are very conscious about it.
So when you have already people network in South Korea itself, how did you build that connection with them in the beginning? I mean, if you don't mind revealing or whatever, like.
So initially I had a friend who was helping me connect with the brands, but slowly as we grew, like the companies started approaching us, and that's how like now I mean like I think most of the companies, they know us, so it's easy for us, like since we already have a base in India.
So they're the one coming forward.
Yeah. I mean,
Really?
we get a lot of brands, but it's just that we are very selective. So we don't just keep any brands that approaches us. No, we are very selective about it.
Oh, you know what I was actually thinking is like you must be really running after them, to get their products. But it works the other way around.
Yeah. So I mean,
That's
this
amazing.
year I had like, I mean, I'm not boasting, but like I had 5-6 brands like with their CEOs. They were pitching to me about their products and like asking me to sell it on our platform. So yeah, things have been good.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people listening to you and your story will be kind of very inspired by what you're doing. And I mean, as a Naga, I'm also very, very proud of our Naga women, like doing amazing works like this. And it's just not local market, it's just international network that you are doing. I mean, that's wonderful. Now I want to know where are your customers normally based? Are they from Northeast or are they from all over India?
I think pan-India.
Pan-India. So where do you think where do you think the most of the customers come from, like from the data that you have?
I mean, it's everywhere. So I mean, I can't exactly say there is this place because I think it's equal distribution. Yeah.
Okay. And now in a day, I mean, like how many orders do you get? Like
no, so it depends. Like if you have any events or like big sale, then we have a lot of orders, like 1,000 orders. But sometimes if the sales are low or sometimes some products run out of stock, then sometimes we have like maybe a few hundreds.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a daily affairs.
Yeah.
Wow, that's inspiring. I think like people should make note of this and can take up the challenge themselves and venture into other business like this, because social media presence, thanks to internet,
Yeah.
I mean, without internet it would not have worked, and thankfully without social media, I mean, you have a huge social media following, somewhere 70,000, right, on Instagram?
My personal?
Yeah.
No, 40,000 plus, 48,000. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's so huge.
It's just I'm not a very social media person.
Really?
So yeah. So but I had to do it. I had to get out of my comfort zone because I wanted to build a very personal brand.
Okay.
So like I still struggle, like just being very honest, I still struggle being on social media, but I just do it.
Right. I mean, like when duty calls, like a soldier has to attend, you know. And now how do you, it's been about, let's say 9 years already?
17, 18, 19, 6, 7 years.
6, 7 years. Okay. Yes. Let's say 6, 7 years. And you're very happy about like how you started and the process. One of the biggest challenges that you have faced, in the process of starting this and surviving this business, one of the biggest challenges that you think that was difficult?
I think one of the biggest challenges for me was not having a business background.
Okay.
Yeah, I did my master's in botany. So when I started out, I didn't know how to lead my teams, like how to manage business. So I think that was a very challenging phase that I went through.
But and how did you learn all of that later on?
So I kind of like, I mean, right now we live in a world where, I mean, in internet, we have everything right in the at the tip of our hands. So I did a lot of research, and also like, as I learned on the go, like, whenever we had faced any issues, then that's how we like resolved, and then we found out, okay, this is a better way to work. So like on the go, as well as like also like upskilling my skills, like in leadership, in team handling, in business management. Like I kind of read a lot of books, listened to a lot of podcasts, and all those kind of things.
Okay. I mean, you keep working in the background. Like that's amazing. You just don't. Okay, now business is working.
Yeah.
People are ordering. Let me stop other thing and just. But you keep improving yourself. I think that what stands out as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs are very interesting because they keep learning and they keep learning new skills. That's very interesting. What are the feedbacks that you normally get from your customers?
I think right now for us, logistic, being in the Northeast, when we deliver it to outside of Northeast, then it takes a lot of time, or sometimes, when there's certain like band or anything, then sometimes there's a lot of delays. So that's one of the major drawbacks.
Okay.
Other than that, we don't have any such.
Okay. So do you have any testimonials after using your product? I mean, the product that you're selling.
I mean, like how our business is growing is the testimony itself, because like no amount of marketing is going to work for a bad product.
Right.
Even if you like do a lot of marketing on a product, and if your customer buys it because of your marketing, and then they use it and they don't get the results, they're never going to come back. But we have a lot of repurchases. We have customers coming again and again, and then also word of mouth, sharing it with their friends and family, like about the how it has worked on their skin. I think that itself is a testimony.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. And as a man, when it comes to skincare, I mean, I don't know, I was very bad at it. But since a good friend of mine introduced me to the idea of using serum and toner and sunscreen, I started using it like for some time, and I could see the result. So now
I can see your skin glowing.
Okay, I mean, like if you saw me from before, it was like pathetic, but I didn't realize. You just have to wash your face with Lifebuoy soap and just go out. Sometimes I didn't apply anything, but now I'm also learning about this kind of product. But I've never used Korean beauty products. Is there any Korean beauty product for men as well, or are they?
I mean, it's like unisexual. I mean,
really?
anyone can use. Yeah.
Okay.
But it depends what products you need to use. Depends on your skin type and your skin concern.
Okay. So that means even men folk can come and check out
we have
your
a lot
products?
of men coming to our store and buying also. Yeah.
Okay. And
I think over the years we have noticed an increase in men taking care of themselves, which is a very good thing. Because when I go to South Korea, I see like men of every age, especially like men in their 50s, 60s also, they have like such good skin, and it's like something you really admire, like wow. Yeah.
How did they even achieve such kind of skin,
I mean, self-care, I think it's very important. Right. For us out here, we say like, Lifebuoy chalali hoi jao na, but I think that's something which is very like very purana zamana mindset.
I know.
I think it's time to take care of ourselves, because I think overall, even your skin is a part of your persona.
Exactly.
So I think it represents your whole character. I mean, your personality. So I think it's very important to take care of yourself.
Very important. I think any man watching this, I mean, and most of our viewers are, I think, YouTube mostly like 60 to 70% are men.
Okay.
And our genre for conversation is mostly politics and issues. So like mostly men, I think this is going to be very important for our men folk, like who are not able to take care of themselves. I think, like she said, that's very, very important. If you want to stand out, I think you should take care of your skin also properly, You
don't have to do like 5-6 steps, but just a good cleanser, a good moisturizer, and sunscreen.
Yes, just to protect from all kinds of skin issues and diseases. So when you look at the Nagaland market, how was it? Was it difficult in the beginning? Because you did not directly start a website, I'm sure. You started from your Instagram page, right?
Yeah. Like for the first 6 months, like I started. I was on Instagram only.
Okay, so people were coming forward and like purchasing the products from Instagram as well.
Yeah, from Instagram only. That's how I started my business.
Okay. That must be like through DMing and phone calls, and which was definitely inconvenient when you get like bulk orders. I mean, many orders.
Initially it was very small, like my business, it wasn't like this before. So initially it was like few 10-20 orders. I mean,
Home
like
based?
I said, when I started out, I was doing it everything alone, and only after after 6-7 months we launched our website. So initially the orders was not as much as this. That was.
Okay, so, and at the same time now that your orders are increasing, your inventory has to be also stocked, right? And then how do you import the products from Korea? Because last time I ordered one small product, which is Yeah.
to import beauty products, you
Mm.
have to have certain licenses, which we have.
Alright.
So if you have any license, then it's not a problem.
Okay, and like because like importing products, there's a lot of, I mean, exuberant amount of custom charges.
Yeah.
Do you guys still get those charged?
I mean, we pay for GST and all these things, but
Okay.
we don't, like, unnecessary charges are not there because we already have all the legal documents to import.
Okay.
Mm.
And is there any competitor from Nagaland itself?
I mean, Nagaland, there are so many stores.
Okay, stores only.
I mean,
yeah.
see, competition, there's always going to be competition, but
Yes.
I never look like,
Like you said.
yeah, I just focus on myself. So
Okay.
otherwise, every nook and corner, you'll find a lot of K-beauty sellers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It all comes down to how well you deliver your product
Mm.
and services.
Yeah, I,
mean,
think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
So, okay, so Nagaland does not have. That means, in other words, other than small stores on the roadside,
Mm.
Nagaland does not have a big challenger for as of now.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a not threat, I would say,
Mm,
rival
yeah.
to your business, right?
So far, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now you're saying about pan India customer
Mm.
presence. How did they get to know about your products? I mean, that there is a store.
So once we
That's
started our website, then
Yeah.
we started doing Facebook ads. We do a lot of other things. We have like a full team. Like we do 360 degree marketing.
Okay.
So we have Facebook ads, Google, YouTube. So we cover everything. That's how I think we reach out to all
Okay.
the pan India.
Okay. Yes, when I was just googling Beauty Barn,
Mm.
it just popped out, like from on Google, and it's a sponsored.
Okay.
I mean, that's how you do your advertisements. I
Yeah.
mean, I was so impressed seeing that.
Mm.
Like when we Google something, we just see companies and brands from outside.
Mm.
But the brand that is based here in Dimapur, our own people, by the name Toinali Chophy, I mean,
Mm.
leading a business firm
Mm.
like this, and just, when you Google about Korean beauty products, you see that kind of ads coming up. I mean, is
Mm.
that something like, wow, that's interesting. She's
Mm.
totally harnessing every strength of social media and, like internet.
Mm.
So who gave you the idea of such, strategies?
I mean, those things though we learned over the years,
Okay.
and it's not like I have this strategy and it's done. It's like every month, every day, we have to keep changing our strategy. So we have to be on trend with the technology. We have to keep up with the latest, like even with ads creation, like things keep changing. What we did last year, we cannot repeat this year because it's going to be
Okay.
it's going to be outdated. So I mean, but like I said, I enjoy the whole thing, the whole marketing. I love it. So that's why I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you stock your inventory,
Mm.
how long it takes for you to, reorder another round of products again?
I mean, every product has different. I mean,
Yes.
it really depends on
Yes.
how much I order. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I order small quantity, then it runs out. If I order big quantity, then it can, like run for 1-2 months. So
Okay,
it really
okay.
depends.
And all these products you must be having at least hundreds of products, right?
Yeah, we have about 350 plus products.
350 plus
yeah.
product. Wow. And you are tracking each of them. Like how many are there in the inventory in stock right now?
Yeah, I mean, we have people who are helping.
Right.
We have.
So based on that, you have to keep ordering like which product is running out and
Yeah,
which product
yeah,
is still
yeah.
in stock.
Mm.
That's interesting. I'm sure. Do you take interns also? Suppose people who are
Yes, we
willing
do
to
take interns,
explore.
and this year we have a lot of interns applications. But the thing is, our office is running out of space.
I
so
can see that. Yeah. Okay. As a mother of 3,
Mm.
how do you manage your time?
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, I'm very disciplined. So I do a lot of things before my kids wake up. I wake up very early, so I plan and I do a lot of things before they wake up, and then I think. But for me, it's not about balancing. For me, it's about prioritizing things. So some days I prioritize on my work. Some days I prioritize myself. Some days on the kids. So it's like prioritizing really helps me like balance life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about prioritizing. Some days you need to give more priority to your children.
Mm.
Sometimes some days you need to give to yourself. Of course, some days to your business. Most of the time, I believe.
Mm.
And how does your normal day look like? I mean, running such a big business at this time.
Yeah, so I think over the years I've learned to delegate a lot of things to my team.
Mm,
So
mm.
I have like good like people in the like in my team. They like, even if I'm not around, they're like they do the like things that needs to be done. So for me, like I just help like strategize, and my team does a lot of things. So I think delegation helps a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They know what to do now in your absence.
And
also.
I think as a business owner, we should not be doing everything.
Exactly.
Like once your business starts growing, it's very important to be able to delegate to people you trust.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what the normal Naga businessmen would do? They would, fix the light bulb. They would, clean the toilet. They would do everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that becomes a kind of a taxing, and people
that
normally
becomes the
want to
block. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So for me also initially, like I said, when I was handling social media, but I gave it over to our social media manager.
Okay.
Then I was I was trying YouTube also, like I was doing
Right.
some videos, but then we had our host coming in for the shoots.
Okay.
So like I was also trying writing blogs. So initially I was doing a lot of things, but I've delegated everything to the team. So now they're able to beautifully manage everything.
Wow.
So that's why it makes my life easier.
I'm sure. And you are looking after major developments.
And for me, my most of my time goes in connecting with new brands or coming up with more strategies or like marketing campaigns, like the important things. Like they have this in marketing. There's a thing called the Pareto principle.
Okay.
So it's about 80-20. So like 20%, or like the most important 20%. That's what I focus on. I don't focus on the day-to-day operations.
You have really become, like typical entrepreneur, and I'm inspired by that. Okay, so you get up around like early morning, and I mean, I'm curious about how you really live your day, and that will also help many people learn.
I wake up very early, like maybe 4:30.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your daily thing.
I mean, my early habit has been a childhood habit.
Really?
Like actually, my maternal grandpa, like he used to wake up very early, and that's how like my whole family, my siblings, like everyone wakes up very early.
Okay.
Like our cousins, everyone. So we have that habit from a very young, thing. So I wake up around 4. Then I just like take time to pray, reflect on things, and like maybe plan a few things. Then sometimes I go for a walk or something. I go for a run. Then after that, around 6 o'clock, I wake up my kids, and then they go to school at 7. Then after that, I just take a little, because I wake up early, so I just try to take a little bit of rest before I go to work. And that's how I start my day.
Okay. And what time you go to bed normally?
I sleep early by 9 p.m. like 9:30.
Without sleeping early, it's not possible to get up at 4:30 because you would not be productive when you're deprived of your sleep. That's something I think almost all the successful entrepreneurs do. Like they would sleep early, get up early, and grind the whole day with their business ideas. That's quite inspiring. I think many people should learn from this and focus on what you are really planning to do. And now, not just as a mother, as a wife, how do you manage your relationship with your husband when you are so much soaked up in your business sometimes?
So like I said, I'm not in the hustle and grind. So like I have a amazing team that's helping me do everything. So for me, like I come to work, sometimes most of the days, like I don't stay till the end of the day. Like I usually go home early. Like again, by the time my kids come home, I try to stay with them. And then like even with my husband or anything, like I have the rest of the day. So I think I have enough time. I think 24 hours is a long time to do a lot of things if you know how to manage your time.
That's wonderful, because managing time, of course, is everything.
Yes.
And now I want to know, you are thriving your business very well up till now, and what is it that you want now? How do you want to see yourself a few years down the line?
I think I have a lot of plans.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, of course, when it comes to Beauty Barn, also I want to scale the brand and expand. Like even since COVID hit, we our offline stores took a stall. But I mean, moving forward, we want to expand our offline stores. But I mean, in the next 5-10 years down the lane, I like whatever I'm good at, like marketing or business. I want to get into the service sector, in the future, let's see, maybe consultation or marketing agency, something which I'm very good at. Okay. So those things are something I love and enjoy,
But that will be an additional kind of a business idea.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't know, but sometimes I don't want to be in the business of buy and sell. So I want to be in the business of service,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. that gives knowledge to people,
Yes,
that gives
yes,
skills
yes.
to people,
Yeah,
skilling people in
Yes.
this.
But that'll be like maybe 5-10 years down the lane, not
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I want to see where you're heading to, and what is it that you really want beyond this beauty barn, and but your beauty barn will still continue though,
Yes,
regardless,
of course.
right?
I mean,
So tomorrow, imagine like there is a very, in the worst case, in your bad diplomatic relationship between India and South Korea, and that can really affect the business. How can your business look like in that circumstance? It's just like very imaginary kind of a question.
Yeah, so this question was something that I don't know, I read somewhere, and then there was something I really questioned myself like few years back. Like, what if something happens to your business and you had to start over again?
Right.
So like that's really like something which really hit me, and I really reflected on it also.
Okay.
So a lot of people, when they start, when the business grows, they really become like, okay, the business is growing, and they depend on the business, like the materialistic things. But for me, like I said, I focus on my skills. So skill is something which cannot be taken away. So I can always start something new and still build it. If I had built like the business from scratch, I can still start over and build something new. So that's something that I've understood. Like upskilling yourself is very important.
Very much.
Yeah.
I think that's the best response I have ever gotten.
Thank
for
you.
such questions, because as an entrepreneur, it's not about what you have created; it's about what you carry within yourselves. Suppose let's say YouTube is shut down tomorrow, and I'll have nowhere to do this kind of shows and podcasts. But there will be some other platform where I can still venture and still build the audience there. So, like you said, I totally agree with you. It's not about what you have created and who is supplying those things to you. It's about you can recreate always. So the most important thing for everyone would be, as an entrepreneur, rebuilding, upskilling yourself, and wherever you are placed, you will thrive.
Yeah, investing in yourself is the most important thing.
That's the point you're making. That's very beautiful, and I think many people who want to be entrepreneur will be really fired up listening to you, because you're not just an idea. You're just a very kind of a concrete action and concrete success that now people can see. So are you open to sharing some kind of a turnover or profits that you're making, or as a company, or that's up to you, but
okay. I think I'll skip that.
I know, because situation is not very conducive to discuss all of that. And suppose a Naga woman like you, a young lady wants to start a business tomorrow, like any business. What are few key learnings that you have really come across? Upskilling is one, but like few suggestions, advice that you would like to seriously give to those people.
I think like if anyone is starting out, social media is a very good tool. Like, I think social media, like I always say, it's a double-edged sword. Either you like, it's a very like, it's a terrible master, but it's a very good servant. So learn to serve, make it serve your needs. Then you can build your audience. You can like build a good market. So I think like if you have social media, like I think when you're starting out, I think it's very important to have some certain social media skills and also learn about it more. I think there are a lot of platforms that are giving free education, like I think there is Udemy, there's Skillshare. So all these things are like free platforms where you can learn. So I think learning is so important, because things are changing, like now with all this AI and everything, like now people have to be more creative. You cannot just do a job as a job.
True.
Then you're like almost like an AI. Like I think I'll replace.
I
think I'll use an AI if you're doing just a job as a job. You have to be more creative. You have to put that human, that human creativity. So I think it's very important to keep learning, because it's a very fast changing world. So
that's to the point, like solid point. Wonderful. I think many youth, especially the younger women, would especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, we have lesser women than men, right? Or is that true?
I don't know, like, but I feel like, I don't know, okay, if I'm right or wrong, but please. I always feel like, I think, like, if I look around, women nowadays are more empowered than men. So I feel like sometimes there should be some kind of men empowerment. I think men are becoming too outdated and irrelevant.
I know.
Women, like, I think it starts, like, I'm just adding, like, I think it starts from how we have been brought up. Like, girls, we have always been taught to work harder, cook, and do a lot of things. But men have always been like motase, na? So, I mean, I think those things have, help women to be more hardworking than men. So I think this thing should change.
And I mean, women are more sensitive to the problems and issues. So I think they seem to be more determined.
There's a lot of
More
women
focused.
successful entrepreneurs around, but I
Okay.
don't see any like just few men.
Few men, right?
So I think men has to step up now.
Now let's begin the men empowerment, at least in the entrepreneur
I think you
sector.
should start like a podcast on men empowerment.
We should try to do that, and we definitely learn a lot from our women folk. How they have come so far, and when you see consultancy, when you see all this kind of entrepreneurship, I mean, not joking, you see most of the people are women. In any event, you will see
Yeah.
women coming all together and having this kind of meeting, and not just that, even in networking.
Yes.
Network marketing, like there are hundreds of women who are very
Women
already
are husling, men.
yes, they're really
Got to step
hustlers.
up.
They're hustlers.
Yeah.
I would totally agree with that.
Mm.
The last question maybe would be, you started off on your own, and how important is that capital to you? Because without having money, enough fund, I mean, it would be also be a big challenge. How
So one thing I've noticed, and I've come across a lot of people say this, like they want to start a business but they don't have the money. But sometimes it's not about the money. First, you even with a small investment,
Okay.
you start the business, and once you try and you feel like this is worth investing, then that's when you can take a little bit of loan or anything, and then then you invest and let the business grow. So for me also, I never started with a huge amount of investment, but I started small. Like I said, I started with just 10-20 products, and that's how the business grew. And for me, I think another thing is most entrepreneurs, once the business starts taking off, they spend a lot on materialistic things. But for me, I don't look for instant gratification. I always prefer I can buy those things later. So I don't spend so much, so I keep reinvesting in the business. So I think that's very important.
Absolutely, that's very important. And from the profit that you're making from your business, I mean, what else have you bought? I mean, you said you're investing more in your business from the profits, but is there anything else that you have, like, okay, now I'm making at least some profit, I want to buy this? Have you come to that stage? Now it's farm.
I mean, I have a family, so we made a house.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think so.
I mean, if I may
And
know,
we have invested in technology. We have upgraded our platform. So those are a lot of investments.
I mean, your studio itself, thankfully you have a studio where I don't have to struggle to set up all these things. You have a studio which really helps and stimulates the whole, conversational and, sound, everything. Thank you for that. What does your husband do? Like, since you are very
Yeah.
successful in your own way, now just a personal question. What is your husband
So
up to?
I mean, initially he was also doing he has a couple of factories. So initially he was into it, but I mean, he had to help me, and eventually over the years the business, I could not take a lot of invest my time in a lot of documentation. So he's
Right.
been managing the business, he's the managing director.
Okay.
So he helps with a lot of things, like the documentation part, the most difficult thing.
Yeah.
As a woman, I hate documenting. So I think that's he handles those things.
Okay.
Those are very precise, and you have to be very careful. And for
Right.
me, I'm very I'm not very good with documenting and organizing. So
Okay. I think at least your husband is helping
Yeah.
you, that for the task that
yeah.
maybe you are
And
not.
obviously the business is not so small now.
Right.
I cannot do it alone. So I
Right.
mean, he's always there. It's 50-50. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's interesting. Husband and wife doing the same business together starts to look like a good family business as well. But what stands out, mostly is you took a firm decision to go against the pressure of the society to stick to your job, and you jumped out of it. You could have failed also. You never know, right? Without knowing that you'll be successful, you jumped out of it and you started venturing into these things, and you have become successful in that part. I mean, that was very courageous and brave on your part.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's been nice speaking to you. And I'm sure many people will learn from your experience, especially the business part of it. And looking forward to your success in the days to come. More bigger success.
Thank you so much again for
Yeah.
having me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll talk again in the
Okay,
future.
sure.
Yeah.